That was great. It's just
What part?
this bass trombone, like the echo
Off
of the
stage,
ancient
it's
church.
the echo of the ancient church speaking from within a catacomb. You know,
Yeah.
somewhere off in the distance, down underground, we hear this echo of the piety of the worship of the early church in hiding, way down there in the depths of the catacombs.
Right.
It's really kind of a spine tingling moment.
Yeah. You ready for this?
Ba-da-dum-ba, bee-ah-dee-ah-da. We're going to Rockford.
Rockford.
Classical Encounters.
Classical Encounters?
Oh, Classical Rebellion.
My God,
No, seriously. Classic Encounters was a classical music store here in San Diego, California.
Okay.
Which was run by a guy named Rick. I remember him very well.
Rick.
I had it's part of that whole retail experience that's gone now. The social interaction of buying music, and it's much missed.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But the rebellion.
Ode to Classical Encounters.
The rebellion will live forever.
The rebellion goes on.
The rebellion goes on.
We are rebelling.
We need your help.
Week by week. Press the subscribe button.
And the like thing. Do the thumb. Just do a like. It's easy.
Right.
Even if you don't like it.
What's not to like about classical music?
If you like classical music, click it because it's what we're doing, man.
It's so easy. All you gotta do is press that button. Just press it. Even if you don't mean it, press it.
Yeah. Even if you just pretend you made a mistake. Like, oh shoot, I can't unlike now. That would be,
So we're going to Rockford.
Rockford.
This episode is called The Rockford Files.
Rockford Files. That's your dating yourself.
Well, that's why I wore my jacket tonight. I want to be very James Garner.
You're doing quite well with it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. I'm going for something else. Whatever.
You're my Noah Beery sidekick.
Yeah. No, I don't know the show. I know my mom liked it.
Never mind. But we're going to Rockford, and we're going to Rockford for what?
For Amy Beach, first of all.
Amy Beach.
It's a little bit of something I haven't seen that often before, but they're doing the concluding movement of Amy Beach's Gaelic Symphony as their opening piece of the concert.
And that is, there's a parallel there that, in my mind. Sometimes orchestras or instrumentalists will play the last movement of a really exciting piece. There's a piece called the Concerto Gregoriano by Pietro Jan, who was the organist of St. Patrick's Cathedral in New York back in the 1920s and 30s.
Okay.
And he wrote a concerto for orchestra and organ. The last movement, called the Concerto Gregoriano, it was premiered by Stokowski and the Philadelphia Orchestra in the Wanamaker department store with that massive organ. And because he was quite a virtuosic organist. He wrote Gesù Bambino, famous Christmas waltz.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
But the concerto has fallen into disuse. But organists will frequently play the last movement of that piece as a showpiece.
Sure.
So
yeah.
Amy Beach gets I guess the last movement is considered a showpiece.
I listened to it. I'm an Amy Beach fan. I love her.
It's very
orchestral
impressive.
Music. Yeah,
It's
I love her
very
piano
impressive.
concerto. Not a huge fan of her songs, but that's just me. A lot of people love them. I should say I'm not a huge fan of singing her songs. I like to listen to them, but it's a chore to sing.
Well, the symphony is. I mean, I don't know what more you want out of a symphony. Yeah. It's thorough. It's vigorous.
Yeah, I'll say this. I like this better than another Berlioz overture in its place.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like
absolutely.
We don't need Le Corsaire
much more
again.
interesting.
Yeah, we don't need
Roman Carnival.
Yeah,
I mean the
the Roman.
Well, we've heard it. It'll appear somewhere else on the season.
Yeah.
But that's actually a very creative opening for a concert.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Along with the Tchaikovsky Capriccio Italien and what else?
Shostakovich Cello Concerto, which I'm not that familiar with.
No, I can't say that I am
so
either.
We won't talk about it. I love Shostakovich, though.
But the last piece on the program.
That's why we're doing this. I have a Google alert for Pines of Rome by Respighi. Because if it's within 200 miles, I'm going. Sorry, the Rockford Symphony Orchestra is in Northern Illinois.
It's a little far from us here.
A little far. But someday,
if you want us there for a media event, we can come.
If enough people subscribe,
that's right. We'll be going.
I would have flown to Chicago and taken whatever means to get to Rockford.
I would very much like to hear that first movement, the last movement of the Amy Beach Gaelic Symphony live. I'd really like to hear that.
Yeah, sure, but I want to hear the Pines of Rome live again. It's unbelievable.
It's a dynamite piece of music. It's virtuosic and imaginative in every single way. I mean,
oh my gosh.
Respighi was such a master of orchestration. And have we covered the Pines before?
We haven't.
Okay, well, I talked
about it in an episode a long time ago.
I've got a fair bit to say about it.
Go for it.
When I went back to San Diego State, Dr. Joseph Waters, who is a graduate of Yale and also did postgraduate studies in Stockholm. Well, when he was in Stockholm, his professors were telling him that this was, I guess, would have been probably in the early 1980s, I imagine. I'm not trying to date you, Joe, but I mean, sure. I think his professors were telling him that they should not be listening to the music of Respighi. Respighi was decadent. Respighi was a fascist. He's socially deconstructive. He's a minor master and unworthy of being listened to.
Wow.
That's what he got in Stockholm. And he said, that is clearly bullshit.
Okay.
You can beep that out if you want to, but I mean, that's what that is. Right. Because Respighi was a major master. Yeah. He wrote so much music of such high quality, and the Pines of Rome is a modern piece of music. In fact, it's almost the beginning of modern music because it is the first instance of a mixed media presentation of classical music in the symphonic concert hall. The recording of the Nightingale in the Pines of the Janiculum was I believe it's the Pines of the Janiculum was recorded on a 78 record and broadcast through the enlarged bell of a gramophone horn. That's the first time. It caused a scandal. People didn't know what to do with it. This idea. Right. Why didn't you just write it for a piccolo? No, we want a real bird sound.
Right.
And they got it. And I've always wondered, I think, remember the book on longitude, and various books on technical achievement, this little Dana Sobel wrote.
Okay.
And I want to write a book someday called Respighi's Nightingale. What happened to the record? Does it still exist?
The original record.
Is it in the files of the La Scala Orchestra or whoever premiered it?
Right.
I mean, where is it? Does the Respighi family still have it? What would it sound like to us today?
You know where it probably is? Somewhere in northern Illinois, in the basement of someone whose grandfather was in the Italian campaign in World War II. That's my guess.
That's very possible. Yeah. But I would really like to track down that recording and find out because what he started with using recordings and mixing media was visionary. Yeah. Visionary. The only other thing you can say about that is either the use of fireworks with classical music, like Handel, or the canon. There were some instances of people rigging up organs to project color when you played certain chords, right? I mean, and I think Scriabin wrote music that was meant to be have color projected.
Scriabin wrote music which was supposed to end the world. Apparently.
Well, yes, quite so, But we can certainly say for sure that Respighi wrote music that changed it. It changed the world.
Look, if you want to feel like you're winning, just go sit and listen to the Pines of Rome. You don't even have to break a sweat. And when the Pines of the Appian Way and the ghosts of the Roman Legion march by, oh my gosh, it just keeps rolling. Like you think it's going to come to a kind of a cadence or conclusion. No. It just keeps moving forward. And then there's going to be offstage brass somewhere in the house, horns, 4 or 6 of them, I can't remember.
Oh my gosh, it's just thunderous. It's thunderous.
It's thrilling.
And also, I have a special liking for the Pines at a catacomb because deep offstage, a bass trombone or I believe it's a bass trombone plays a Gregorian Kyrie, which happens at Clemens Pater, which happens to be one of my favorites it's one of the auxiliary Kyrie ad libs from the Liber Usualis. And he plays that theme off stage as if there's the voice of this dusty, crusty old ancient pope, in the catacomb, an echo of the early church and everything. It's just stunning.
That is good. Say that again. That was great. It's just
What
this
part?
bass trombone, like the echo
Off
of the
stage,
ancient
it's
church.
the echo of the
Yeah.
ancient church speaking from within a catacomb.
Yeah.
Somewhere off in the distance, down underground, we hear this echo of the piety of the worship of the early church in hiding, way down there in the depths of the catacombs.
Right.
It's really kind of a spine tingling moment.
Yeah.
It's such a simple thing, but it's used to such great effect.
Yeah.
Pines of Rome, go.
You gotta go. All right.
Hashtag
Rockford Mayor Tom McNamara.
Come on, you can do it.
We believe here at the Classical Rebellion that the civic leaders should be our cultural leaders. And it's an easy thing to do.
And they should be seen supporting their cultural organizations.
Just go to the concert, thrill to the Pines of Rome,
You're gonna
Amy
thrill to
Beach, Shostakovich, Tchaikovsky. Good Lord.
What a
more do you
program.
want? And then hashtag Rockford Mayor, put that on Instagram, and then we'll search hashtag Rockford Mayor.
And we will promote you.
And we'll say, wow, look at this civic leader.
And all of your citizens will vote for you because you are a leader
Look.
in the arts.
It would mean the world to anyone at that symphony concert.
I think it would.
The mayor was there.
I mean, no, seriously, we mean it.
You know, and in all fairness, maybe Mayor McNamara does go to the symphony. When he went to San Bernardino, the current mayor wasn't there.
But two former mayors were there. That's true.
Yeah. So we're
That's
not.
true.
We're
San
not
Bernardino
saying,
cares. San Bernardino civic leaders care about their orchestra. They
Yep.
really do.
Yeah.
They know that they need their orchestra for that town. Now, you don't tell me that Rockford doesn't need its orchestra, and if you need it, go support it.
Yeah. And we're not saying. So here's the thing. We're not saying, hey, you're not supporting it and you should. We're
No.
saying if you are supporting it, show the world that you're supporting it. You can do that on the internet, on Instagram.
You give the orchestra the advertising. You give yourself the
Yeah.
advertising. It's important. It really is.
Yeah. Just, oh man, my heart would feel so. So we've been doing this since August.
Who's going to be the first?
Who's going to be the first?
Who do you think is going to be the first sitting civic mayor to show up and go on Instagram and said, we answered Classical Rebellion's call"?
I'm going to say Wichita.
You think Wichita's going to come
Wichita
through?
had a good response.
Okay,
We'll
Wichita.
see. We're
see. Watching.
Yeah.
We're watching.
Or you know what? This is so we're under the gun for this because this is the 26th, and this concert's on the 28th. So it could be,
It's Saturday night.
yeah.
Okay.
So this isn't So it could be Rockford.
Rockford, if you do it, we're going to give you props.
Yeah. You know,
Watch this space.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Follow us on Instagram.
And hit the subscribe
That's right.
button.
Hey, look, I want to say something. Maybe we'll use this for more than just this one video.
Okay.
It's something I came up with today. Not today, but it's been building for a while. So I do outreach for the San Diego Mainly Mozart Festival. And the marketing director sent me some text and said, "Make this better ASAP." Which was like, it's hilarious. I love working with him. He's great. We have a good time. But I'm a writer. I've also written 1,000 articles on
Make
classical
this
music.
better ASAP.
Yeah. So, it was about supporting the Mainly Mozart Festival. And
Right.
I was like, man, we got to do something better than just saying, hey, we have a great orchestra, because we do. More than we've got a youth orchestra, we do. More than we do music and autism, we do those things. Absolutely. And those are important things, but it's the message, it's the way we message it. And here's what kind of came through. When you support a classical music organization, you're adding a rich and rewarding chapter to your life story. And you're also adding your voice to a story which is unfolded over the centuries, over hundreds of years.
You're becoming
in countries and cultures around the globe, you're adding your voice to this massive chorus of composers, performers, past patrons that echo through into the current concert you're at. The current concert on September 28th would not happen without that story being told up until this day. And it's our responsibility to continue telling that story.
So what it boils down to is join the story.
Yeah.
So
thank
become
you.
a part of the Classical Rebellion. Da-da-dum-bum.